bit of a net negative in my own personal traits, in the sense that is some level of empathy by giving people the truth with a side of dessert, if you will.
Yeah.
I
struggle with that.
Yeah, me too.
Hence, not being liked.
Right. Me too. And I'm a very polarizing figure as well, and I understand that it's a byproduct of this, and also it's a byproduct of always having a megaphone. You just have Twitter at your fingertips at any given time. If you just want to be truthful to 20,000 people who are watching, you just do it. You know what I mean? And the problem is whenever you start to treat your close inner circle the same way. And like for me, that's where I have the most struggle. You just say that, right? It's like, it's okay. You're allowed to fuck human. You fucked up.
That's right.
But like, let's acknowledge it.
You can say, how can I help?
Yeah.
That'd be the second part.
Right.
To that. Right. I knew my friend was being dicked around by this girl. You have good genes, and she wants him, and she's older, and her time whittling down. I said, she's no good. She's rotten to the core. And he had a hard time hearing that.
Yeah,
and
that's hard.
Thankfully, eventually, they did break up.
Yeah.
And I won't get into it, but certain things happened where, Anyway, but I'm trying to help him by saying that. I'm not trying to be a mean-spirited prick. I'm saying this is not going to work out. You can't have a vase thrown at your head. You're way too chill. You're way too nice a kid. You're so pure. Like, there's no way any girl should ever do that to you.
I think it's a patience thing, right? Like, when you grow up with a certain level of I guess, like, self-understanding, and, in your instance, like, you're wildly intelligent, so, like, a lot of things around you just come naturally. It's easy to identify mistakes. Right? And maybe this speaks to your sports handicapping as well. Like, you can just identify a mistake pretty clearly. So, like, if you see something wrong, but the human element doesn't, like, really allow for that very well.
The good news is I've gotten better, and you probably will too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I have that practice for the next 30 years.
Yeah. No, I have gotten better.
Yeah.
But I think that reputation's probably stopped me from having a job on ESPN. Sure. There's no one out there that could analyze the game. They have all these teams.
Do you see that market growing and expanding now that it's becoming this billion-dollar above board industry?
I don't think it's I'm in the minority. I think it'll be like a Foxy fan. I think the novels will wear off pretty quick.
Really? Yeah, I can see the other thing.
Well, I also know that the people who far less willing to both bets. Unless Circa forces everyone's hand, and they're the only ones that could. I have mad respect for the guy who works there and that cap. Especially when he told me that he used to listen to me on a starter farm and learned a lot from you. Yeah. And I told him, listen, if I can fly out here and help you, just tell me. I'll be out here on my dollar. I don't want a fucking dollar from you for anything. But you guys are the only hope to save sports betting.
What about rest
That's
of the
how
world?
bad it's gotten.
Are you speaking specifically to the United States market, or does this include like
pretty much everywhere?
Yeah.
They take smaller bets. They throw you out if they think you know what you're doing, because they've lost the art of bookmaking. Like I described before, there's an art to bookmaking where you have a market. You have X number of dollars on one side, you have X number of dollars on one side, and you arrive at a number that'll be a good one to bet at. They're still laying you 11 or 10. That's a pretty massive edge. Yeah, for sure. Like, casinos probably would live on that edge.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I hate the term fucking flipping, because what Jacks Against Ace King is like 56-44. You could buy a fucking Ferrari in here if you got it in 56-44 the rest of your life, right? So, who came up with that fucking shit?
It's a big misunderstanding.
Давай, мочи!
Math is messy, man. It's too exact, it's too precise, right?
Гниды.
Language and math do not collide very well.
Yeah, I've always had a hard time.
Хуярь!
Well, that's because you live on fractional edge.
But I'm not a math guy, yeah.
Yeah, but like 1 or 2%, is the difference between eating and not. Yeah. So it's like if math, if you're 56-48 or 44 rather, right.
Anyway, so I'm this guy who's having a complete breakdown at age 13, finds peace of mind at the racetrack, comes to Vegas, finds he has talent in playing sports, and off I went. I would have been a great high school English teacher. But they didn't make any money. And part 2 to that is I'm playing it totally safe here. I'm doing something I'm good at.
Why is that playing it safe?
Because I'm good at it. I'm natural.
Isn't that what we should do? Like, shouldn't
Not if I
things that
could have.
were-
Not if I could have helped a bunch of kids out by being a high school English teacher. What the fuck did I do? I made a shit ton of money and blew it.
Yeah.
Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And I just completely copped out. However, well, from 82, 89, when I did cocaine, I got drunk every night and realized that had to stop. I now went to the gym and I became a fucking animal. I had a personal trainer for I don't know how many years and went 5 days a week. Got the living crap beaten out of me. And the proudest moment of my life came in the gym, which I think I described to you, when having just done a 4-exercise superset on chest to open our show, I'm struggling to walk because I'm completely exhausted. We did 4 sets of 8 on 4 exercises with a minute's rest between. It was just completely insane.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was like completely out of his fucking body. Like I'm a human being. I'm not a fucking machine.
Sure.
So now you know that look where you're sitting between your head between your legs and you can't move. And he's there. Well, we're gonna do burpee exploding to a pull-up 4 sets of 8. And I looked at him. I picked my head up from beneath my legs. I said, "You out of your fucking mind?" He says, "You're just gonna be a pussy your whole fucking life?" And I'm like, "Fuck you!" Shut up. And I did it like it was nothing.
Yeah.
4 sets of 8, burpee exploding like it was nothing. I couldn't even stand.
Yeah.
And I realized that even though I thought I was giving my all,
Yeah.
not even close.
Yeah.
It's all mind over matter. I was just really tired, and you can't keep going.
Yeah. We've
And
spoken
unless
about.
I was giving it, I was trying my ass off.
Yeah.
I was dead, and I'd keep going.
Yeah.
But I had X number more and didn't know it. And our workouts after that got insane because now it's just all mind over.
Yeah.
I knew it didn't matter how tired I was. I just keep going.
Yeah. Everybody needs to break under someone else's will at some point, right? That's the only way to shatter a ceiling.
So I went to a place where I'm not comfortable, the gym,
Mm-hmm.
and succeeded. That's what I think is success. I
Yeah.
was not an abject failure in a gym. I was a massive talent, by the way, but I've never really
It's unfortunate to say, but it's a small market. It's very difficult to grow. And that was kind of why I asked you, like, do you think that the media surge of kind of glamorizing sports betting will have an effect on the market? Because
I think it depends if the right people get hired to talk.
mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there's a minuscule amount of people who beat this, and most of those are guys who create algorithms
Sure.
or simulations or whatever they do. I this is really foreign to me, so I don't want to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
And how do you get on a TV show and talk about your fucking algorithm as to how you came up with the winner?
Right.
You're not going to be a very exciting guest.
Well, you might be, but you're not going to be all that.
But
willing
old
to
Boston
share.
here,
Yeah.
I'm just reading game stories and winging it.
Yeah.
I can talk.
Well, we could have like a fireside chat with Boston every week.
I would be very good at allowing the masses to understand why I like a game.
I would love to see that. You wearing like a tweed jacket, sitting with your leg crossed in front of a fire.
I won't be more Timothy Chalamet like in a little wild dresser, but
Newspaper out, going through the box score.
nope, no box scores. I look at the box scores quickly to see if there are any anomalies in shooting, but
Yes.
I'm strictly how did the games play out and what does this team typically play to, and let's not deviate much from that. And that's the struggle sometimes when when you're wrong about a team and they lose by 50 and then 30, you have to have the wherewithal to know I'm still right about this team.
Yeah. Right.
And stick with your guns.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets tricky. And I'm sure that's happened in
Oh,
poker. Where
100%.
you've all right, let me try this and
Yeah.
you know
You run into it, and you live.
right.
What what were some of like the high water marks throughout all of this? It doesn't even necessarily have to be sports betting. I know you kind of mentioned the gym thing. That was a huge success to you, but like
There was a
what were
moment on
some
a radio
massive
show
highlights?
that I'm very proud of, which I'd like to relate.
Sure.
So I did the Stardust line for years in the early 2000s, and I typically came on when college football was ending.
Mhm.
But they happened to have me on for some bowl games, the first hour, and college basketball the second hour. And the host was John Kelly and Dave Koken, who's a local tout, nice guy, and I do think he tries. He's just not overly talented.
Sure.
So but I think he's kind of legit